we're talking about Mr. Copeland not being permitted to take responsibility for the killing of Mr. Thomas. You know what I'm referring to?
Yes.
Did Mr. Copeland in any way take responsibility for that killing that day to Miss Hilton?
Pretty much, he just said, you don't know what I did or didn't do.
Welcome back to the channel. What is going on with the goings on with the YSL trial? What a mess we have. We have Shanon, who's married to Kayla Bumpus. It's all over the internet about Shanon and Kayla being married. I'm wondering, did the state push that out so the ex-girlfriend can get upset and testify against him for things in reference to a gun of hers that he allegedly was caught with? So let's get straight into it. I'm going to also show you where the girlfriend said it was an attempt on her life in 2022 when Shanon was in jail. And also show where Kayla, after the ex parte meeting, had to testify about Woody and Donovan Thomas. Nuts. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, definitely turn on your notification bell so when I get the drop, you get the drop. And again, thank you for tuning in. Let's get it.
When they seen us walking up, they got out their car and started walking towards the door too. So they masks kind of like turned a little bit. So I'm like, okay, hold on. So I'm like, where did them girls go? Who are them? Who are they? Like, so that's why I had looked back, like going up. Like, I didn't hear no doors open. It was quiet because we the only ones that out there. So I'm looking around like, I don't know, where did they go? They didn't go downstairs. They went up. We got to my friend's door, but my friend was walking faster than me. So I started speeding up to walk like, because I felt something. And once I heard, because it was so quiet, I heard them stomping down the stairs. That's how quiet it was. It sounded like they was stomping, like jumping down the stairs. That's why I screamed like, I said, when she came running, she pointed her gun at me and I just started shooting. When I started shooting, she shot, but I guess I hit her, and that's when she was stumbling to get back up and try to shoot from behind. Yes, I believe it was in her left leg. The way that they ran up on me, I really think that they were trying to kill. The way that they... I don't know that from a can of paint. This wasn't a robbery. I think it was a hit on me. I'm not even gonna lie.
We are never gonna move past the Kayla and her apparent marriage, but this is what I'm gonna say to you guys. So, I don't have any tea to spill. I mean, believe what you want to believe. I'm not clearing nothing up. It's people that are fighting for their lives, like literally fighting for their lives, and y'all is posting around a marriage license.
These are the text messages between Miss Sylvia and Kayla Bumpus. It starts off, Kayla Bumpus, that's not out. I'm trying to keep it off YouTube and TikTok. Rough Riders don't count, B. Like, why is this news? Do I need to pay you? Not to discuss. Infamous Sylvia, it's newsworthy for my audience. If you want me to bury the story until you are ready, you can pay me $500. Kayla Bumpus, do whatever. Anytime you have, I've always been willing to help. Sylvia, now I'm the bad person. I'm a blogger. Kayla Bumpus, it's nothing I can do. It's cool. I understand. I wish you the best. Infamous Sylvia, I kept my promise yesterday, but when others are telling me what they know.
Today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, please be seated. Will you please state your name for the record?
Kayla Bumpus.
And what is your relationship with respect to Mr. Copeland?
I previously represented him on criminal cases, but for purposes of an attorney.
And what was your intent in representing Mr. Copeland?
To make sure that his rights were protected and to make sure that Jonathan Melnick was good to go.
You were present in the June 10th, 2024 ex parte meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
Have you read the transcript to the ex parte meeting?
Yes.
Where did that meeting take place?
In chambers.
In chambers. And was the ex parte transcript that you read a complete recording of absolutely everything that took place in chambers that morning?
No.
Could you please tell me, generally, when was there a time during the course of that ex parte meeting when y'all went off of the transcript?
Clarify what you mean by that, when y'all went off.
Was there a break in the proceedings at some point on the morning of June the 10th?
Multiple.
Multiple breaks.
Yes.
And during one of those breaks, did you have occasion to speak to Mr. Copeland with someone else, with someone from the states, the state present in the room?
Yes.
And when you had that conversation, that was off the record, that was without the transcript being transcribed?
Yes.
When there was a portion of that meeting that was not recorded on transcript, who was in the room?
Myself, Mr. Copeland, and Simone Hilton.
But were there deputies in the room as well?
Yes.
Do you remember how many?
4.
Okay. Anyone else other than the deputies and the 3 people you just named?
Investigator Hamilton, maybe another investigator from the state.
What happened after that?
We go back in the chambers,
Excuse me, we being you and Miss Hilton.
me and Miss Hilton.
You go back into the chambers, and then would you say again who was in the chambers when you went back in?
Well, Mr. Copeland had been to the restroom, so it was just me and Miss Hilton in chambers, and then they bring him back in.
Did you and excuse me, I don't mean to cut you off if you hadn't finished.
No, then the same other people.
Okay, when you and Miss Hilton were in the chambers prior to Mr. Cohen returning, did you and Miss Hilton have any further conversation in the chambers?
No.
When all of these people are in the chambers, what happens next? A step at a time.
Simone starts talking to Mr. Copeland about what we talked about in the hallway.
What specifically did Miss Hilton tell Mr. Copeland about what happened in the hallway?
I don't remember what she said at the beginning, because then she says, "Wait, Judge, can you step out?"
Who is she that says, "Wait, Judge, can you step out"?
Simone Hilton.
Okay, ask the judge to step out. At that point, does the judge step out?
Yes.
Does anyone else step out?
I don't remember if the court reporter stepped out, but I know she stopped taking down what we were talking about.
Okay, and she may or may not have remained in the chambers.
Correct.
Okay.
And so at this point, you're saying that the judge is out, you, Miss Hilton, Mr. Copeland, 4 sheriff's deputies and 2 DA investigators are in chambers.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Next step. What happens next?
Simone starts to talk to Mr. Copeland about, I guess this is the part about purging yourself and perjury and impeachment.
Okay. What specifically did Miss Hilton say about purging himself?
About purging himself once he began to testify that he would purge himself of him being arrested.
Okay. What about perjury did she tell to him? Did Miss Hilton say to Mr. Copeland?
I think some of this is on the transcript, but she rated the fact that pretty much she wanted him to testify. She didn't know what he was going to say, but there was one thing that they know that he didn't do that she would not allow him to testify to.
Okay. what did Miss Hilton tell Mr. Copeland was the one thing he knew she
All right,
knew?
let's not assume any of this because this is your witness, so don't lead her, okay?
Okay. So, when you say that, what did Miss Hilton specifically say regarding that?
Well, first, Mr. Copeland said, I can claim all of this. I can claim all of this. I might as well just say I did all of this. And she said, well, we know you didn't do all of this. And specifically, we know you did not kill Donovan Thomas. And I will not allow you to get on the stand and say that you killed Donovan Thomas.
And when Miss Hilton said, I will not allow you to get on the stand and say you killed Donovan Thomas, did she say anything else with respect to that?
Pretty much, I was explaining to Mr. Copeland about independent evidence because she said if she had any independent evidence to prove that he was lying about anything, she would just use his statement to impeach him, not necessarily press charges against him for perjury. But she said that if he said this thing, this one particular thing, which was the unaliving of Donovan Thomas, that she may move forward with perjury. And Mr. Copeland says, well, it's not just about me knowing who killed him, but it's about, I know more about that infinity, and I know something about somebody who's not even on trial.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there a second because there's a lot to unpack, okay? So, do I understand your testimony to be that she said that she would prosecute him if he lied about the killing of Donovan Thomas, but she would not prosecute him if he lied about other things?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Stu.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Counselor, was there a time in your presence that you heard someone give a direction for the sheriff deputies to shut off their body-worn cameras?
Absolutely.
Do you know who gave that direction?
Deputy Brown.
And do you know at what period of time or what point in time that occurred? Were you alone with your client? Was it throughout the whole time? Were you with Miss Hilton? What was going on when you heard that?
That was the first thing he said when the deputies brought Mr. Copeland in.
So as far as you know, I'm not saying the sheriff deputies filed that order, but they were ordered to turn off all body-worn cameras as far as you were concerned.
Yes.
And that you just relayed to us with Miss Hilton, you and Mr. Copeland, your client, was that a calm conversation? Was it heated? How would you describe?
It was, we had been in there for 2 hours. It was a high level of emotional tension, if that's a thing.
Okay, were people getting louder than we're speaking now?
Yes.
And who was that person or people?
Simone.
Okay. And when you were talking about Mr. Copeland not being permitted to take responsibility for the killing of Mr. Thomas, you know what I'm referring to?
Yes.
Did Mr. Copeland in any way take responsibility for that killing that day to Miss Hilton?
Pretty much, he just said, you don't know what I did or didn't do.
Okay. And that was said to the prosecutor about the killing of Donovan Thomas?
Yes.